know of a brand that needs rescuing, that needs a major makeover? Well, me and my staff, we sat down and came up with a list of companies that we thought could use a little help in the marketing department, or maybe a lot of help. But joining us now with his take is Bill Gullan, Finch Brand Senior Vice President of Business and Brand Strategy, for his ideas. And this is free. We hope the executives are listening. Thank you so much for being here.
And I'll be polite.
The top name on everybody's list was the GAP.
Right.
All the celebrity advertisements, the makeovers, they try and change the clothes. What has gone wrong with that?
Sure.
company?
Well, I think fundamentally, Dagan, GAP needs to stand for something. And its stablemates, Old Navy and Banana Republic, are well delineated in the minds of consumers in terms of what they are, what style they embrace. They have a connection. GAP, which really was an innovator in its category and created really a category of its own, has meandered from the younger consumer to the Red campaign, which was very successful in gaining public relations awareness, but was in essence a gimmick rather than a business strategy. GAP really needs to get back to basics, and I don't mean basics in terms of clothing, but in terms of understanding and defining what it is on which their core consumer connection is based. And they need to deliver through their stores, and they need to deliver consistently at every level of the business. And I believe GAP is an enduring name in the American landscape, and they have the opportunity to do that. They've certainly made investments in staff, those who have been successful at doing this in other places, but fundamentally it is about
they've got a new designer, but again, I don't know. Again, if you constantly change the style every season, is that really what it wants to be? Is it more fashion-oriented retailer versus just your khakis and your basic shirts?
Sure. And that may be how I want to dress, but the reality is that a style is not a brand. And we should never confuse a style with a brand, because you have a quarter or 2 quarters or 2 seasons of misses stylistically, and then what do you fall back on? Then your basics business is eroded by Kohl's and Target. Your move toward youth puts you into Abercrombie's territory where you get eaten for lunch.
Well, speaking of eating, I'm going to cut you off. Next one, Krispy Kreme.
Oh.
So hot and then so not. And it's not the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts is doing fine, selling coffee like, well, hotcakes. And then Krispy Kreme just fell off people's radar.
Absolutely. Well, it came on and fell off in seemingly equal speed. You as a proud daughter of the South and me as a Davidson College graduate understood, I think, the reason why Krispy Kreme had the following that it did. You know, Finch Brands, my company, works at the intersection of business and brand strategy, and there are definitely cautionary tales in both areas for Krispy Kreme, but since we're focused on brands here, it is not health. You're right. We live in a tamper-proof world, but the reality is that obesity rates haven't gone down. So when the company blamed their challenges on the increasing health consciousness of Americans, I don't think that was entirely authentic, and it sounded...
They should have just stayed local.
Yes, well, perhaps, but I mean, everyone wants to grow, and we're biased toward accelerating profitable growth and building brand equity. But what made Krispy Kreme so romantic and wonderful and pleasant was the experience, the glaze dropping, the warm donuts, all of these things that made it so special. And I think the opportunity for a company like that is to go back to basics and to reaffirm what it is that makes it different. So Krispy Kreme, how about, I don't have research to base this on, but how about a positioning about your special, well-deserved treat in a tamper-proof world?
Yeah, it wasn't so special when they opened up so many stores.
Well, they went into markets where the heritage wasn't relevant. It was kitsch.
We've got a huge list, Bill. You've got to come back and do more. Bill Gullan, thank you so much with Finch.